No worries.
Okay.
Okay, so would you like us to start the presentation now then?
Yeah, that would be great. Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. So again, I'm Kylie. I'm from Streetscape Mission Services. So that's under our branch of community mental health programs. Um, and this is,
I'm Sari, and I also work on the Streetscape team. There is a team of 5, but I do the court diversion process of the team of 6. But we're all, like Kylie said, mission services with the branch of community mental health programs. Within mission services, there are a lot of different branches, but ours is the community mental health program, the Streetscape outreach.
so to meet our team here, in the photo here, you got Sari, who is with our court diversion and streetscape team. You got me here. We got Matt and Brian. We have a couple other workers. They are Shani and Olivia, and Nina, who will be potentially coming back soon. So we have a bigger team than what's shown in the picture here. It is a team of 6. So 5 streetscape and 1 court diversion, which is Sari. So we define crisis as an onset of emotional disturbance of situational distress, which may be cumulative, involving a sudden breakdown of an individual's ability to cope. So the role of the Streetscapes community support workers, like we are very, very big on crisis intervention. So Streetscape is a service designed to respond to psychological and social needs for participants. Community support workers identify, engage, and provide support to participants who are experiencing mental health challenges, addiction challenges, and/or homelessness or at risk of homelessness. The ultimate outcome is to assist individuals in meeting their self-identified goals for stabilization. Staff assertively seek at-risk individuals as well as accept referrals from the community at large to identify, assess, engage, and refer individuals to the services needed as identified by the participant.
So in regards to like how it says staff assertively seek at-risk individuals, at both 2 of our different branches, at our admin branch and at the men's mission, we have an office there, and we support individuals that may be just camping out outside, and they don't have connections with other resources. So we will seek them out and introduce ourselves and talk to them about what we do in the community, how we can navigate so supports with housing and all those, and like they said, addiction issues, mental health issues, and kind of get them involved in the community and to see what supports they're needing in order to get that stability that they may want. If they don't engage, that's totally fine, but as long as we make that connection. And as time, we've noticed we do make good rapport with individuals, and then in time they may agree to get the support. So that's mainly what that point is really, that we seek out. We don't go out in the street like other agencies do, feet on the street, but we do kind of connect with them within our branches, that people that may come close to kind of get that some support. But we also do encampments in the community, and that's another part of how we can get referrals.
So it's basically when we see an individual that's in need, or a referral comes in with an individual that's in need or in a crisis, we do our best to be there. We are not necessarily an immediate service in the sense that we will be there or always available right when that crisis comes in. So we do give about a 24-hour, when they do call the crisis line, somebody will be connected with them within 24 hours to go over what it is that they're looking for support with. That is usually in the realm of mental health, addictions, or homelessness.
And if we are available, we do engage, but like Kylie said, we're out in the community, we do have caseloads, so we also have appointments that we make with other individuals that we're supporting. So at times we may not be in the office, but if a crisis comes and you guys call or another agency calls, we could say, okay, somebody can be there within an hour or two. We truly do make that commitment to go as soon as the crisis call is made.
Mhm.
But a lot of times they may not be urgently right then, because like I said, we do support a big caseload. I think our numbers are between 20 to 30 per each worker, for individuals that we service and support in the community.
So moving on, community support workers will continue to work with participants until referrals to other community resources are attained or the participant withdraws from service. So unlike a lot of services that are available, we don't have a strict timeline of when our services end with an individual. We will stay connected with them until we are able to refer them elsewhere for a better fit, or that individual is feeling stable enough to no longer need our assistance. And a lot of the time, as we know, crises can happen multiple times. So what's very, very nice about this program is an individual that was connected once, they might be going through life and everything's well, and then something else might come up and they're able to reach right back out. And hopefully, as long as, you know, that worker still has room on their caseload, they're able to reconnect with that same worker, which is really nice to have that. Yeah. So some of the common challenges that we do face include the restrictive criteria of other mental health and addiction services, as well as housing and what's available, and the reluctance of participants to engage. So because we are a voluntary service, if an individual does not want to engage with us or is not answering our phone calls or meeting us halfway with the goals that we are identifying, we will not push for that individual to engage. It is completely up to that individual if they are interested in our support or not. We are not mandated. And the biggest barrier too is what's available. So a lot of times we can make the referrals and, you know, show you with housing, a lot of the time is get the paperwork done and show you what's available. However, there's not very much affordable housing. So with the barriers that are in place, we aren't able to, unfortunately, go past what is already available.
The only type of housing that we do have available to us, which is limited as well, is through the shelter system. We do have a branch that is a family-oriented Rothel family shelter that we do support. It's like individuals that if they have children, we can go through coordinated access and get them connected to the shelter there, or the men's mission, as you guys may be aware of that, which is the only men's only shelter. And we do we work well with them, obviously, because they're a different branch of mission services. But at the same time, a lot of it is first come, first serve there, because when I leave the doors open for everybody in the community, so they don't take preference with us. Sometimes they do if we kind of, you know, we advocate for the client, say, you know, he's only going to be here for a month, he's just transitioning and we want a treatment, stuff like that. They do make arrangements for us, but those are the two types of kind of like some sort of housing that we do have available, but it's very limited, like I mentioned. And then the rest is just kind of like a waiting game, like every other person does. The other thing I wanted to really emphasize in this, when a referral is made by an agency, we do talk to the agency and say, has the client agreed to participate with us? And if the agency says yes, we still connect with the client, because Kylie said, and it's a confidentiality issue with them, because we want to keep their their information confidential to them. And we ask them, like, is it okay? Do you want our services? And if they say no, then we can't get the support, even though the agency may say, oh, they need it. Or we also get a lot of family members that say, you know, my son or my daughter or my uncle, my dad need to go to treatment. Can you help them? And we say, can you have them call us? This is my number. They can call, because we have to hear from them that they want the support. Because I myself, I don't know about any of you, but I don't want people telling me what to do. So we kind of respect that from individuals. If they do want to participate, we give 100% to them. If they don't, we respect that too.
So let's talk now about some of the support offered to participants by our streetscape workers. So some of what the community support workers at Streetscape can support participants with are things like basic needs. So obtaining food, accessing food banks, sometimes in emergency situations, obtaining a food box. We can give out emergency food boxes. To individuals that are, you know, really, really difficult to get by right now. Hygiene items. So it's all about what's on donation. So it is different every single time, but things like deodorant, shampoo, soap, toothbrushes, clothing. We do have a clothing voucher here at the Mission store. We also have accesses to donations ourselves. So in extreme situations, we are able to support with that, as well as small household goods. So we can help obtain small items we can also help navigate where to get furniture and beds and stuff like that. Finances is another big one that we do. So helping individuals apply for OW, ODSP, EI, filling out those sorts of paperwork, as well as figuring out their taxes, bringing them into tax clinics, or having somebody else, if they're interested, a volunteer, fill out their taxes, or going through their taxes with them and trying the best to help navigate it themselves, as well as budgeting, going through with individuals and laying out what their income is and all of their expenses, and really having it in somewhere that they can see it. Independence building is a lot of what we do as well. So just teaching individuals skills like cooking and cleaning. We can assist with transportation, but we do have very limited funding with that. So it's more for extreme medical purposes. We do have the ability to drive clients places if needed, so to and from appointments, things like that, as well as supporting individuals in navigating the bus system. A lot of that's a big fear. So actually going and learning the bus routes with the individual can be a big support, as well as self-advocacy, teaching individuals how to be independent and, you know, use their voice and stand up for the things that they need and ask for assistance. So yeah, so that touches again on skill building to enhance mental health and wellness. So even going out and learning how to mindfully go for a walk, we can go and talk with individuals doing that, which is really, really nice. So we can also support with concerns around mental health and addictions. Housing is a big one. So we can fill out rent geared to income applications, navigating the shelter system, like Sari said, homelessness diversion. So even speaking to landlords, trying to prevent the tribunal situation, trying to come to an agreement, talking to bylaw, you know, property standards, stuff like that, and trying to prevent the homelessness in general. As well as tribunal support. So if the individual is already there, we are able to emotionally support that individual through it, sit with them, explain kind of the process, explain the paperwork that goes along with it, and filing some of the notices and stuff like that. As well as joining individuals at medical appointments for the emotional support. So sitting through medical appointments and yeah, bringing them there.
Yep.
Just for that emotional support. So things like yeah, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, psychiatrist appointments is a big one, as well as court diversion. So I'll let Sari touch on that one because that's her area.
Yeah. So with the court diversion program that I support individuals in, I do connect with individuals in the Elgin Middlesex Detention Center, which is our jail here in London. I connect with probation officers if they're, you know, out in the community and have probation. I connect with their lawyers if they're in the process of already the court process with them. And I also support with individuals that are just starting the courts process and they have no idea what to do. Walking into a courtroom or walking into the court building is very scary for a lot of people. So us having, I support them with going there. I pick them up if they need to, or meeting them there, and I walk with them as a support person, and kind of like it says, is just navigating through the support of the justice system, because it can be really scary and frightening. I know myself, if I get a parking ticket, I'm like, oh my God, you know, I'm going to the court. So like, I couldn't imagine the things that, you know, clients suffering from mental health, addictions, homelessness, and having to do that. So that's part of my role. Accessing the ATC. ATC stands for the Adult Therapeutic Court. A lot of that is where I sit in. But I do the other courts as well. But with the mental health, the Adult Therapeutic Court, there's that court diversion process that they can navigate, which allows individuals that have a lot of mental health or addiction issues to go through a process where they can get supports. So sometimes people, as we know, I don't know if you guys know, but a lot of people commit crimes to survive. So it's not because they just want to commit a crime. They do it for survival, because they owe a debt, or because they want to buy food or get, you know, drugs that they need to survive for their illness, their addiction, and or they're mentally really unwell. And so for those reasons, the Adult Therapeutic Court was started. And so what happens when they enter the Adult Therapeutic Court, they do an intake with a worker from CMHA, Community Mental Health Associations. And through that intake, they talk about all the barriers, all the things that they've been through, what got them there. And then if they are successful in entering court diversion, which is that decision that the Crown makes through the intake and what supports are behind the individual, then they are entered into court diversion. And what happens there, they have 6 months to a year to follow a service plan with CMHA, myself, if there's an addiction issue, and other agencies like St. Leonard's. And through that plan, the client will get supports. Like they do a lot of groups, they do, you know, if they need anger management or whatever it is with me, if they need treatment, they go to treatment, we support through all that. And if the client follows that program through that court diversion, then after 6 months, if things are going well, the client's charges can be dropped and they successfully complete the program. And what that does for an individual is like such a release, because they don't have charges, and then they continue on with those supports. And then they can even start, you know, going back to school, going, you know, having a job without having that like fear of, oh my gosh, I have a charge, I can never do anything again. So that's part of the mental health, the Adult Therapeutic Court that we support in for the individuals that are in our community.
So outreach is also a big portion of what we do. So Streetscape performs outreach in a variety of ways with a focus on meeting participants where they're at. So staff will engage with people living at encampments and will address concerns when other agencies call for support, attending evictions when called by the sheriff, meeting with inmates at the prison that are soon to be released, or with people who are leaving treatment or group homes. So we really do meet wherever the individual feels most comfortable is the big thing. So depending on what we're talking about, is usually based on where we'll meet. So touch your subject likely is not going to be at Tim Hortons, but might be at the client's residence or at a park bench even. In our office, we have office space as well. We have the ability, like I said, to pick up the clients and bring them to wherever they would like to meet within reason, and London, of course. But yeah, that's a big part of what we do, the outreach portion.
Yeah, a lot of other places too, like libraries, you go to Crouch, Central Library, which, book rooms and quiet space for clients. That Kylie said, somewhere where they're more comfortable and also where they feel really safe. That's a big one for a lot of the females that we support. They may not want to be in an area where there's a lot of men or, because of traumas or things like that. So we always try to vocalize that for them to let them know we want to meet you wherever you feel safe and it's more comfortable.
Okay, so the program elements. So referrals are screened for appropriateness based on participant needs and if they are already connected with relevant supports, because we don't want duplication of services. So we'll just we'll go through it, make sure that this is an appropriate referral for our program. And if, like we said, if they're already connected with other agencies. So upon the intake, Streetscape staff will conduct screeners to assess abuse and trauma to make appropriate referrals. Streetscape is also trained to administer the Gains Q3 assessment tool and the ADAT, which isn't mentioned here, but this tool is needed for participant referral to treatment centers. Streetscape is one of the only outreach teams to have the ability to administer this tool. So we're able to meet the individuals where they're at and administer it for whatever program they're interested in. It's not just to complete it and then they have to access our services. We're able to complete it and then have them access whatever program or treatment center they're interested in. Streetscape is so one of the most sorry, that message blocked my screen there. Oh no, did I stop sharing now?
I can still see it.
Yeah, I can see it too.
I can't. Oh, there we are. Sorry about that. Yeah, so most assessments are completed by withdrawal management centers or assessment referral agencies, which can create barriers to timely access to treatment. So we pride ourselves in being very quick, and like we said, we typically can get that done within the week or two, unlike most agencies.
And one of the other agencies is like Addiction Services, Thames Valley. I know that sometimes because of their caseloads or individuals that are being that have the ability to do the tool can take sometimes 3 to 6 months. Well, with us, like Kylie said, it could be within a day, a week, or 2 weeks max. So we can quickly, once somebody does a referral to us and they say we need the assessment to go to treatment, we meet the client either the next day if we have ability, but within the 2 week mark. And we can get client everything going for them and do the assessment.
So staff meet with participants out in the community, including at their residence shelters, group homes, treatment centers, encampments, and public spaces such as libraries, coffee shops, and parks, and on site at the men's mission, the admin office, or at our mission store. Participants can reach staff in person by scheduled appointments or walk-in support, virtually through Teams, phone, text, or email. So now we're going to go into who can send in referrals and how can they reach out. So participants are self-referred or agency referred to Streetscape, and participants must be reside in London. be 16 years or older to access Streetscape, and be experiencing mental health challenges, addiction challenges, and or homelessness, or be at the risk of experiencing homelessness. So who can send in referrals and how can they reach out? So you can do it one of two ways. There's the self-referral option. So that can be done by meeting with one of our Streetscape members face-to-face in the community, via encampments, the Mission Store, Men's Mission, just by walking up to us, and seeing, like Sari had mentioned, a lot of individuals outside of the shelters who aren't able to access the shelter quite yet. We do a lot of connecting with these individuals, as well as individuals at the encampments. People often do come to our store too, looking for support. So we're able to, if somebody's on site, connect with them. The best way, though, to connect with us is calling our 7700 line. So that is found on our website right here. It is 519-439-7700. And that is answered by one of the Streetscape teams members. So they will answer the call, and it's already that connection right there that you're speaking to an actual member. So it's that lack of, one bridges to get through the person that's actually going to support you, as well as submitting a self-referral online. So there's also a link on our website under Streetscape. There's also the ability to have an agency complete a referral. So that could be done by meeting with one of our Streetscape members face-to-face in the community, obviously with consent of the person they are referring, as well as calling our 7700 line or submitting a agency referral, which is also found on our website. So our locations and hours, so Streetscape staff rotate between the Mission Store office and the Men's Mission office. So we have two locations, and like Sari said, we are navigating a larger caseload. So we start there and we work there, but we are often out in the community. So most of the time you can find us, but sometimes you're not able to locate one of us. However, we pride ourselves also in our communication. So even though we aren't available, somebody does have the ability to reach out to one of us, and within, like we said, an hour or two, we're most likely able to send somebody over for support. Streetscape works between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sometimes we can push it a little bit longer to 8 to 5, but that's Monday through Friday, excluding the holidays.
And the other thing, because we're a team of 6, we split the team in half. So 3 staff will be at the Men's Mission, while the other 3 staff will start at the Mission Store office. So we all start at our designated spots. And every day, Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, we start there. 3 staff at one location, 3 staff at the other one. And then we all have a rotating schedule, but there's always going to be 3 staff at that location, but we're in and out kind of thing. So you may find us or may not. But if not, like Kylie said, somebody could give us a call and we can be in there within an hour or 2.
So that's the end of our presentation. If there's any questions, we are more than happy to answer.
I did see that your hours were between 8 and 4 at the office. But if someone is in crisis, are you able to phone that number and then the 7700 line, and they will answer that line?
So that's a great question. So after 5 o'clock, nobody will answer it. However, if they leave a message, the first thing in the morning, they would receive a phone call back. We do encourage individuals that if they are in crisis and aren't able to reach us, then they do reach out, or if it's an emergency, they go to the hospital, or connect with other agencies that are around. There's the Crisis Stabilization Center as well. But like we said, after 5 o'clock, we are no longer available until the next morning. However, like we said, leave a message and we will be getting back to you immediately after, within the 24 hours.
That's an amazing turnaround time. Like, that is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And-
like, and like Kylie said, so with the 7700 line, like one of us has it, but we also all have our individual cell phones. So once the client connects, we will connect them to us and then we share that information with them. So they call us directly as a worker instead of calling the 7700 line all the time. So once that connection is made, that transition will be made. But unfortunately, we don't have like 24/7 availability for our crisis, but like Kylie mentioned in the voicemail for our number for referral, it does state for the individual if they're experiencing crisis, they can reach out to the crisis center, or if it's an emergency, to go to the hospital and call 911, and that we will be available to call them the next day.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
I see a question in the chat.
If somebody has pending charges, can we refer them to Streetscape to look into the ATC if they self-identify with mental health or addiction issues?
Yeah, so how that would work, if their charges are pending, what the outcome, right? What I would tell the individual is like, let's connect with your lawyer and discuss that. Because the lawyer, some lawyers are very good with us and recommending support. Others will say, you know, I'm the lawyer, and they will do what's best or discuss the situation with the individual. But I always bring that up to a lot of people because they don't know about the adult therapeutic court. So if they have pending charges, they can be placed in ATC, but that's something that the lawyer has to do the referral to that program. And then the client will be done, do the intake. But if I'm connected with the client, what I would do is I will connect with the workers that do the intake assessment and say, you know, this person has this and this, the lawyer's this person, do you mind connecting with them? And they will discuss that with the lawyer. And they say, yeah, send the person over. And the CMHA team has access to all hospital records. So if they have had any registrations to hospitals within like London or St. Thomas, and I think Woodstock, because one of the workers does both those counties, then we can get those identifying mental health issues and have them be successfully entered into the adult therapeutic court because of that. So that's the navigating that I support clients with. If the lawyer says, yes, we'll do that, then I will speak directly with the lawyer and say, you know, I'm supporting them in the community. This is what we do. A lot of lawyers do know our program very well because we've been involved with them. So that's the navigating system that I would support the client with if they have pending charges right now. Does that answer the question?
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. You guys are just such wonderful humans, and I
Oh,
love
stop.
Streetscape. I've made a few referrals, and I always assure them that, you know, they're very wonderful, kind people, and they'll do everything that they can for you, and that's evident in what you guys just presented. Like, it's really nice to have agencies in the community that truly care and, you know, are not passing off people, you know, onto the next agency. You guys really try to stop that from happening and just connect with the client. Like I just think that's amazing. I love Streetscape.
Yes.
Thank you. The one thing
Thank
that
you.
we have actually the past, like I said, I've been doing this for 17 years. I've been with Streetscape for 13 years. That I've noticed within that spam is that now people are more connected. Like agencies are more connected. Like I've known of Lifespan for a long time, but I've never really met people or connected like this. So I think after COVID, everybody realized, you know what? We need to be a community. And
Yeah.
we actually were in a meeting today with Counterpoint and Safe Injection Site, which is right across the street from the mission. And we met with their caseworkers and their staff, and we're trying to collaborate to support individuals there, you know, collaborating with you. So I think that's the key. And like you said, we don't want to just pass somebody, be like, oh no, you're not, we're not the service for you. Here you go. And like
Right.
Kylie said, once the client complete all the crisis things and things are going well, what we do is we do warm transfers. So if a client is, for example, I had a client that, you know, completed the Adams Therapeutic Court, and then they were connected with St. Leonard's, and we were working together. Once the client said, you know, I'm doing better, I slowly stepped back as the secondary worker. And then now the client's fully like on their own. So it takes
Right.
time to do that. We don't just drop people. We slowly do warm transfers and like slowly discharge the individual. And we discuss a discharge with them. Say we accomplished all these goals. We've done this and this. You know, at this time, you know, I feel like, you know, the support is completed, but reach out anytime you need. I have a client that emails me, just updates me on what he's doing and, you know, the successes. And I'm like, thank you for your email. And I record that like as a contact, but he's not my client. And I think he's been off my caseload for a year and a half, and he still emails me every 2 months and updates me. And you know, that's the thing that we do. Like we don't say no, and I'm not gonna email him. He's not my client. We still connect, and he tells me his journey. He continues telling me that. So those are the things that I think makes us very unique in our agency, is that we just don't like drop people and they have to start all over with us. We're like, okay, we left here, let's keep going, kind
Yeah.
of, right?
Right.
We really give individuals as many chances as, like, if you're ready now, you're ready now, and let's do it. And you might not be ready tomorrow, and that's okay, but you might be ready the next day.
Right.
And you can try 100 times with us, because it might be 101 that you're actually ready.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so, and we're here every single time that you want to make that decision. We are that safe place. If you need somebody to call, you can give us a call, and we'll help you to the best of our ability. And we always say, if we can't help you, we will try to find you somebody that can.
Absolutely. Well, that's great. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. You're awesome.
Well, I guess if there's no more questions, we can leave it there. I'm gonna stop the recording. Here we go.